What's good, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so this April 20th card, we've spoken already about Lucas Brown, Dave Allen, Chisora Gashi. Another person that fights on this card is Conor Benn. Conor Benn makes his long-awaited return to the ring. We haven't seen Conor Benn since July last year, so it's been a long, long time since he's been in the ring. His opponent is still TBA to be announced. I just had a look on BoxRec, hoping that we might get a name so I can do a bit of research, but nothing yet, which I hate, if I'm honest with you. The card is 5 days away, and as yet, Conor Benn doesn't have an opponent named. So at best, this is at best, by the way, his opponent will probably get 10 days notice. I know it's 5 days away, but I say 10 days because they probably know who he's fighting, but it's just a case of still drawing up contracts and making sure everything's fine, and then they'll announce the guy. But at best, he's going to get 10 days. So Conor Benn gets, when did I first see the fight poster? 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. So Conor Benn at a minimum gets 4 weeks. He's probably known he's going to be on this card before that, but at a minimum he gets 4 weeks notice, minimum. I think a bit longer. His opponent gets 7 to 10 days. I mean, that's just not fair. I mean, how can you judge a fight based on that? That's just not fair. Someone gets 7 days, someone gets 4 weeks. Someone is a full-time boxer, someone gets 7 days and probably has to stop working, because he probably is a part-time boxer, stop working to train for this fight. But that's how boxing works, right? Not fair, but that's how boxing works. Conor Benn's an interesting one. There are sometimes I feel sorry for him that he has the Benn surname, right? That he is the son of one of my favorite fighters. In fact, probably my favorite fighter, Nigel Benn. On one hand, it opens up doors for him that would have never been opened, right? Never. He wouldn't have got, I don't know if he is still sponsored by Reebok, but he wouldn't have got a Reebok sponsorship that early. He wouldn't have, unless he was Nigel Benn's son. He wouldn't be fighting on some of these cards that he's fought in. He wouldn't have fought in America. All these things have happened because he's Nigel Benn's son. But at the same time, on the other hand, so much pressure is on him because of that, right? So he's having to juggle this weight of unfair expectation just because his surname is Benn. Once you are the son of legendary fighters, somehow people expect you to live up to that expectation. It is very, very difficult. I mean, so far, so good, I guess. I mean, 13 fights, 13 wins, 9 knockouts. He hasn't fought anyone in that yet. And I do wonder what they're doing with him. I do wonder what's the plan here. I mean, I had a look at his record just now, and I'm going to bring up the laptop just to kind of go through it again. And I'm thinking, and look, I'm sure Matchroom and his management team have a good matchmaker, but I just don't see any plan here. I just don't know what they're doing, right? For me, and I mean, who am I to even suggest these things? But for me, if you don't have any amateur fights, the easiest way to start your progression, especially in this country, I don't know about the other countries, is to go through it properly, right? The traditional route. I know you hear a lot of people saying that, but it's true. You do a Southern area, you do an English, you do a British, you do a European, Commonwealth, and then we know exactly how you are, right? It's very easy to judge you when you do that. When you don't do that, and then you take one of these WBO belts, you know, the European or Intercon, we just have no idea how good you are. So it must be very difficult for a matchmaker to match you. It must be very difficult for you to please us as the fans, because I'm looking at his record here, and I mean, his first fight, he fought a guy 2-3. Second fight, 2-4. Fight after that, 3-6. Fight after that, 0-1. Fight after that, 1-1. 1-4. 4-0. 5-1. 8-5. 5-4. 13-8. 6-5. So that was wins to losses, by the way. What is that in terms of progression? I don't know what that is. It's hardly any progression, really. It's almost standing still. And again, I feel like he should have taken the traditional route. If you've got a fantastic amateur record and you're proven, maybe you don't need to go that traditional route. But if you don't have a good amateur record, I think the traditional route just makes it so much easier, so we can see where you are, right? Because he's going to find himself in a situation very similar to what Anthony Yard is in, where, and let's not forget, by the way, Conor Benn has one of these WBO International Continental, something anyway. But what that does is it puts you in the rankings. Right? And if you keep defending that belt and then it goes higher like a WBO European, he's going to find himself in a situation where he is forced to take a fight that he's clearly not ready for, right? Whether or not Yard is ready for it against Kovalev, that's a new video, but he might find himself in that situation. I like Conor Benn. I like him. He comes to fight. Whether or not that style of coming to fight and have a brawl like his father helps him in the program, I don't know. But I do like him. And I want his progression to be a good one and a clear one and a safe one, right? But right now, with these type of weird fights he's doing, I don't know what he's learning from these fights. I really don't. I don't know what he learns from knocking guys over that is 0-5 and 1-4 and 2-3. I don't know. But if he were to fight someone Southern area right now, we would know, right? And then English, we would know. But we're not seeing it. But I wish him good luck against the TBA opponent that he's going to face on Saturday. Fingers crossed we know who the opponent is in the next couple of days at least, or it could get embarrassing. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.